What's going on, YouTube? I'm back, your movie guru, with another review. This one that I'm very excited to tell you about. This is one of my most anticipated releases for this year. I've really been excited to see this movie, and I'm very happy to share this review with you. This one is, of course, Glass. For those of you who don't know, it is the sequel to Split, which itself was the surprise sequel to Unbreakable. A lot of people, it caught a lot of people off guard, including myself. Unbreakable was a movie that I saw. It premiered in 2000. I didn't see it in 2000. I saw it some years later. But I remember seeing it and thinking that was a great movie. Uh, for years after, and to this day, I still thought of it as one of the best superhero movies of all time. And when I saw Split, I didn't know that it had any relation to it. And at the end of it, once it kind of ties it together with Unbreakable, I looked at it thinking, okay, that was cool. Just kind of a cool tie-in. But I didn't think that, that M. Night Shyamalan was going to go any deeper with it. Uh, Once I heard about another sequel coming out, Glass, that was going to tie these together even more, I'm going to admit that even though like I said, I thought really enjoyed Unbreakable, and then I thought Split was another great movie. After hearing about it and then seeing the trailer for Glass, I didn't really know what to expect. Uh, I was really kind of wondering, how would he try to bring these together and what elements that he would take from both films. And, to be honest, I was just kind of hoping that he wouldn't screw it up. Uh, Now, that said, right now, this movie has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I've looked at some reviews from other reviewers, and I'm hearing a lot of disappointment, and a lot of people are let down. And some of it I get. So, to give a brief summary of the movie, and I don't want to, without giving away spoilers. The movie kind of picks up where Split left off, and then it kind of brings you up to date with Bruce Willis's character from Unbreakable and what he's been doing since then. Eventually, they confront each other, they get caught, and they're in the psych ward. All of this you can see from the trailer. Uh, from there, you really get to see more in depth how these people interact with each other, and then how they interact with the world around them. Uh, I thought that part was really well done. Uh, Samuel Jackson, for the beginning part of the movie, he's not seen as much. He doesn't get to act as much, but eventually he does come on strong later in the film. Bruce Willis, I think, does a good job, and then James McAvoy does a phenomenal job. He continues the great job that he did in Split. If you've seen Split, you know what I'm talking about. He really demonstrated his range and being able to portray all these characters and do so convincingly. And he definitely continues that in this film. So the plot, so the acting I thought was great. Uh, the As far as the visuals, how everything looks, I thought that was another big plus for the film. The colors, the spacing. I know that's not something I talk about a lot, but just the spacing between the views that you see on screen was something that I noticed, and I thought that was really well done. So that was also something I like to see. And the plot, I think, is what is getting a lot of people, whether they're disappointed or they're giving it low scores. Without giving a lot away, I will say that uh, towards the end of the movie, and what you get to the end of the movie, it solves or answers questions by introducing something much bigger uh, that will leave a lot of questions. And I think that's the part where I think that's upsetting a lot of people, because I think it's saying, hey, okay, you're going to, finish off this grand story, that took 19 years. The Unbreakable first premiered in 2000, and then Split came out. Like I said, the surprise sequel 2017, and then this is supposedly the finale 2019. But you finish it off by introducing these other elements, and then we're not going to get any answers, as far as these other elements that got introduced, and we're going to have questions about those. So I think that's where a lot of the disappointment is going from, where a lot of people are saying that, he builds a world too big, for his own good. I can say I didn't think that was the case. He does introduce new elements, but I think that they're meant to provoke thought. So, yes, you're going to have questions about these new elements. Uh, it's going to make you wonder some things. Well, I wonder how this could have happened, or, what have they been doing? But I think that's a good thing. To me, some of the best things about films are films that, after they're over, they stick with you. You go home, you're leaving the theater, you go home, and you're sitting around, and you're still thinking about what happened, and you're still trying to decode and decipher some of the elements in the film. To me, that's one of the hallmarks of a great film, is that, it's not over as soon as the credits roll. And to me, I think he did a great job of that. The elements that he introduced were not, this big implausible or big mysterious thing where you're wondering, oh, well, how did that happen? Or, I have to know, what happened with this. I think that, it definitely provokes thought, but, it's something that you could sit and think about and say, okay, well, I can understand how this would have happened. And then going further beyond that, I wonder, where that's going to take it. So I think that it did a great job of that. So once again, me, if you've seen Unbreakable, if you've seen Split, I really don't think that you'll be disappointed with this. This is one of the times where I really think the critics and the fans are going to have a giant disconnect. If you like Split and Unbreakable, I really think that you'll enjoy this movie. You might have, you might be upset that you have some lingering questions, but I don't think that's going to keep you from enjoying this movie. Even if you do feel that way, I think the other elements of the film are more than enough to make you very appreciative of this film. Once again, like I said, the acting, the cinematography, and then I thought the plot was well done. A lot of what I came to see when I saw this movie, some twists and turns, nothing crazy, like you would see. It's a movie based on superheroes and comic books, but it's not something that you would see like in the Avengers or Aquaman that just came out. So in terms of that, I did get what I was looking for, and then in a lot of terms, I got more than what I was looking for. So I can say I was very happy with the film. Probably of all the films I've seen this year, I'd probably say it's the best. I mean, I know it's still early in 2019, but it's definitely the best that I've seen so far this year, and it's probably going to be one of the better films that I've seen all year when the year is said and done. That said, highly recommend you see this movie. If you haven't seen Unbreakable or Split, don't see this yet. Do your homework, go and watch those. But I can't think of a better movie to see this weekend if you have seen them. I'm going to give this 8.5 to 9 out of 10. This movie is one of the ones that I say that it doesn't stand on its own. That is one of the things that I really liked about Unbreakable and both Split, is that both of those films 100% stand on their own. If you saw Unbreakable and you never saw Split or Glass, It's a totally complete film. You like it in and of itself. The same thing with Split. Even if you haven't seen Unbreakable, and if you don't watch Glass afterward, you'd have that maybe that lingering question as to who Bruce Willis's character was at the end. But other than that, it's a complete film in and of itself. And this is the only film that does rely on the other two. But even with that, I don't think that takes anything away from it. So like I said, 8.5 to maybe even a 9 out of 10. As far as the finale goes, I think it gives it that higher rating. On its own, I don't think I'd give it a 9 out of 10. But as an add-on from Unbreakable and Split, it kind of gets an additional rating. So a whole series rating, I guess, is what I'm rating that 9 out of 10. But very well done. I'm a big fan. I hope you are too. If you guys don't disagree with me, I would love to debate the finer points of this movie. If you've seen it, definitely shoot me a comment. Let's hear what you got. I'm here all day. Thanks again for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button. Like I said, leave me a comment. Have a good weekend, guys. Go see Glass. Thanks for watching.